Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, and thank you for joining. Now, in today's episode, we're going to go through all the Saturday and Sunday games. We're going to see what our Spuds did and what your Spuds did. Just coming down. Now, we're going to go through all of them. There's a few players that caught my eye. We're going to go through their heat maps and see what's happening with them. Some players may have new change of positions. Okay, so we're going to find out which players have got new roles. Okay, I'm going to put on a watch list. And there's a team that's caught my eye. Okay, and I'll be watching this team. I've been following this team now for 9 weeks. I'm very scared of this team. I'm going to show it to you now. Now, this team is called Aaliyah's Magic Men. Now, at the start of the year, Aaliyah's Magic Men and Ab's Magic, they were going to merge together. Okay, there was going to be a merger, but it didn't happen. So Aaliyah's Magic Men went on their own. So did Ab's Magic. Now, there's rumours circulating right now that Aaliyah, the owner of Aaliyah's Magic Men, and David, every night when they watch videos, Supercoach related, they snuggle up in bed, cuddle together. Okay, it's very romantic. Just coming down. Okay, and they watch all the Supercoach podcasts together, romantically hugged together. It's very very cute. Anyway, let's have a look at Aaliyah's team because this team scares me. I don't want to. I think it's going to be a top 10 team. Now, as you can see, the defense is very strong. Midfield, it's cooking with gas. Okay, and the ruck line, they got English. Unfortunately, for Aaliyah, it didn't work this week. It doesn't matter. Okay, it'll come strong next week. Now, just to help Aaliyah a little bit here with the merger, we want to see Reed and Thomas out of the team. Okay, we're gonna bring in the Brisbane Lions boy, the young man from the Brisbane Lions, the 102K rookie. Let's bring him in here, and let's bring in Zorko. Okay, let's go Brisbane theme this week. Bring in 2 Brisbane Lion players, Zorko and the 102K player, and this team is going to rock. Just coming down. Now, we go to my last video, the Friday night press conference, and I have a few thank yous to make. Okay, now, and these 2 boys are very special to me. The Fiddler, okay, now, he says, "Hi, mate, love your work." Now, the Fiddler and I go back a long way, okay, now, and the Fiddler is such a good boy, and I appreciate the gesture from the Fiddler, $25. Thank you very much, Fiddler. And we go further down, and there's a young man here, Chad Phillips. Now, I chat to Chad a lot on social media, on X, and he's written here, just wanted to say a couple of things. Very happy I found your channel this year. Not only are you entertaining and informative, I also appreciate your good nature and interaction with all types of people on X. Just coming down. Now, he says, enjoy these coffees, mate, and thanks for all the hours of content richly deserved. What's come up here? Apple software just coming down. Anyway, thank you very much, Chad, and I'm going to buy more than coffees. I'm going to buy a coffee. I might even buy, what can I buy? I'll probably buy 2 pizzas if they're just coming down. Now, before we go through all the reviews of the games, this is how our team went this week. Okay, now we scored a 23.89. Okay, the Spuds got a top 10% score. We had, as you know, we had the donuts. Okay, we copped the donuts, and our season rank is now 173. So we only dropped 65 spots. It's a lot better than I anticipated. I was thinking maybe top 500, but I can't believe it. We go to the Hawthorn and St Kilda game. And in this game, Newcomb had a big game, 136. Okay, he's up and down like a yo-yo. Okay, Newcomb. He's probably a player that you can actually put on the bench. If he has a big game, just put him in. The only problem is Hawthorn don't play all the early games. Okay, so that might not work. Okay, so forget I mentioned it. Now, Meek. 125. People that traded him out will be very, very upset. Okay, but don't worry. You've still got the sweet man. He can produce the same goods. Now, going further down, Will Day, 89, is not Supercoach relevant. There aren't many Supercoach relevant players here, except for Dylan Moore. Okay, but with Dylan Moore this week, he spent more time forward. Okay, kicked 2 goals. We seen scores of Dylan Moore like 140s with 1 goal. Okay, but he was more up the ground. This week, Dylan Moore spent more time forward, so I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But anyway, kicked his 2 goals and got his 76 points. The owners will be very upset with that. Now, going further down, is there anyone else of interest? Well, Ambrosio, if you still got him, it's time to go. Scored the 52. Yeah, let's go over to St Kilda and Rowan Marshall, 11 tackles, 23 contested possessions. He went nuts. Okay, this game suited him. Even against Meek, we saw how Sherry went. He scored a 140 plus. And funnily enough, next week, Sweet is going to play Meek. It's going to be exciting. Now, Jack Steele scored 122, 10 kicks, 20 handballs, 3 touches, 13 tackles, 12 contested. Actually, that's not much for him, but that's a big score, and he's back. No knee brace. He just looked good again. He's on my radar. Okay, even here they put the gun symbol for him. He's a gun. Going further down, Riley Bonner is driving me nuts because I traded him out. Okay, I traded him out for 280k round 1. After that 50, I got rid of him, and he's letting me know 30 touches. Wigan and Milera 113. All the defenders went nuts, or both of them, because there's only 2 of them now. Sinclair is in the midfield, and in the midfield, I don't like Sinclair. Even fantasy points, 59. 9 kicks, 9 handballs, that's not enough. So Sinclair is not good in defence now because of Wangan, Milera and Bonner, and he's not good in the midfield. So Sinclair is a pass. Okay, don't think about it. Going further down, Hugo Garcia scored the 65. We're happy. I had word that he might be the sub. Okay, so I didn't put the emergency on him, but he wasn't the sub. It was sub, but it was Hasty. Who was a sub? It was Peyton. Max King scored a 38. Max King is going terrible right now. Since I featured him and shut off his heat maps, he's done nothing. He's become trash. He's become a spud. He's actually become the king spud right now. Max King is the king spud. Now, further down, Jack Hayes. You can forget about it. 230k or 220k is a not good. So pass. That's why we had to wait 2 weeks and watch his second week. Luckily, he didn't score 100 the second week, and the third week scored 20. So he did us a favour by scoring a 20 now. And that's pretty much it for St Kilda. Actually, no, there's Darcy Wilson, the Jets. 90 points. What a gun. 21 touches. 76%. I'm happy to have him on field. He's actually better than half my primo forwards I got there. He's actually very good. Keep him long term now, Darcy Wilson. Let's keep watching him. I might actually keep him the whole year. He's that good as a spare. We now go to the Essendon and the GWS game. Now, at Essendon, there are things that are concerning right now. Now, Essendon won this game. Okay, so 82 to 6. They won by 20 points. Okay, well, as you can see, right? You probably knew this already, but I'm just giving you breaking news. Okay, they won by 20 points. But the thing that's worrying right now here is that Redmond took all the kickings. There was nothing for Nick Martin. He had nothing. He had 121 Dream Team points, though. So he actually had 31 touches, the spud, okay? But he went at 61%. So his score of 83, don't worry about it. He's going to go back to these 110s, 120s. He just had a spuddy day, okay? Like half my team, they're all spuds. Anyway, so Nick Martin, I don't have any concerns. And for the non-owners, you're going to have a bit of a drop in price coming soon, so, or a stop in price. His price ain't going to escalate now, so you may be able to jump on soon, again, if you want the spud. Now, let's talk about Zach Merritt. 24 touches, 58%. That's very, very uncharacteristic of Zach Merritt. There's no goals this week, but the 101, I thought he did much better than the 58%. I'm actually shocked it's at 58%. That can't be right, but it is. 10 contested possessions, that's not high for him, and 5 tackles. Let's have a look at Zach Merritt and where he's playing. Now, looking at the CBAs, Zach Merritt, 84, so there's not a problem there. The problem is actually Darcy Parish, 48. Something's happened to Parish. What's happened to Parish? 48%. Where's he playing? Okay, maybe he's the one we've got to look at. Supercoach. Look at Merritt's okay, but Parish is something happened. Let's have a look. Remember last week we showed you he was on the wings last week? Well, he's back on those wings again. This is a bad game this is bad signs for Parish. Last week, in that big game, 148, that we looked at, he was everywhere. In 1 week, things have changed. Just 1 week. So if you got Parish, wow, that's incredible. Now let's go to Zach Merritt's heat maps. Let's have a look at last week and compare to this week. All right, this is last week, which we liked. Let's have a look. Is it the same thing? It's the same thing. He's a central player. Well, Zach Merritt is a gun. Okay. So nothing wrong. Nothing to be scared of. Okay, with Zach Merritt, just his disposal efficiency was down. That's why his score was down. Don't be scared. Okay, just come it down. Now going further down at Essendon, is there anybody else? Well, we talked about Parish just then. CBAs have dropped. That was the problem because who took them all? Well, we saw they had an impact player who actually didn't score much himself. Where is he? Okay, or did he score much? Who was in the midfield? We had Perkins in there as well. We had Stringer in there, but Stringer didn't score much. So something's wrong at Essendon with the midfield. They're just swapping and changing too much. This scares me with Parish now. Is off the radar. Completely gone. Off the radar now. Let's go to GWS. And at GWS, we had Lockie Whitfield scored the 100. Now, normally you would say that's not bad, okay? But it's 77 Dream Team points, which means usually his Dream Team points are massive, which means he didn't get much of the ball. 14 kicks, 4 handballs. There's not much there, okay? The reason for that is because Guelphy over here. Where's Guelphy? Matt Guelphy, 94 Supercoach points. He tagged him. Last week, Guelphy, he tagged McGovern. This week, he tagged Whitfield. Next week, he plays North Melbourne. There's McKercher or the Fish. He's going to take one of them too. I don't know which one. So, we'll see how that goes. And in round 1, apparently, I just got told on Twitter that Guelphy tagged Sicily. Sicily only scored 43 points. So Guelphy is actually a very good tagger. So he's a danger man for all our halfbacks. And Whitfield was the one that copped it. Now, Coniglios came back, scored his 98. He did the usual Coniglios stuff. Kelly, his big scores of 130s have dropped now because Coniglios is back. Briggs is poo-poo this year. He's just absolute poo-poo. Big spud. Lucky last year it was good for us when we had him. We had him cheap. It was good. Going further down, there are some rookies here. Where are the rookies now? Let's find them. Okay, tell me when you see the rookies because they're not at the top scoring. They're at the bottom. Okay, Cadman, he scored 12. That's disaster. Luckily, we traded out Cadman when we did the Sweet deal, and we brought in Sweet for Sherry. But we also traded out Cadman, and we brought in the Gold Coast boy, Flanders. So that was actually a win. Harvey Thomas was a sub. He scored 8. Now, if you've got Harvey Thomas, it's time to let him go. Darcy Jones scored 38. So when GWS lose, all their rookies don't do too well from the looks of it. Okay. Anyway, that's all for this game. We now go to Richmond and the Bulldogs. Now, actually, it was the Richmond VFL team against the Bulldogs. Okay, that 38 shots on goal. Okay, that's incredible. Against 12, 12 to 38. Uh, it was terrible. Now the Nank had 44 hitouts. Team English had 31, so Team English actually did okay, 31 hitouts. Now, I don't know how many of those hitouts are to advantage. It doesn't show here, so I can't tell you, okay? But anyway, we'll go to English in a minute. Short had 17 kicks and 3 handballs. Now, for a team where they're defending all day, that's not much, 20 touches. So it's nothing to get too excited about, okay? Prestia, there's nothing at Richmond anyway. There's nothing to talk about. Okay? Tom Brown had a 76. He was busy. Let's go further down. Shy Bolton, he had disaster day. He had 19 touches. It's actually not too bad. 2 goals, 19 touches for 59 points. He gave away 50-metre penalties. Gave away, how many free kicks did he give away? Only 1, okay? Had 5 clangers. He just started bad, and there's no influence in the game. He had no impact. So that's why the scoring is so low. Dusty, the same. You may have Sonzi. The role was there, but just the scoring wasn't. They had more injuries. Lafau didn't score much. Okay, so it was just disaster. Owning any Richmond player right now is scary. Okay, very scary to own. Now, apparently, they've only got 26 players that are available to pick from. Okay, so they're just going to pick 23 out of the 26. It's going to be hard. Anyway, let's go to the Dogs. Now, at the Dogs, Ed Richards, 163, 15 kicks, 19 handballs. Let's check out Ed Richards' heat maps. Now, at the start of the game, or just before the start, when they interviewed Bevo. Okay, Bevo, he didn't actually say he had a brainstorm, but you can tell that because the way his eyes looked, he had a brainstorm. Okay, he was very excited, and he said he had a few changes he made this week. Now that sent shivers down my spine. I thought maybe what's going to happen? Okay, maybe they're going to put the Bont at full back. Maybe they could put McRae on the wing. I don't know. We're going to put McRae maybe on the ruck. Anyway, nothing changed. Everything was the same. And Ed Richards was in the midfield. Now, when you go to Ed Richards, okay, let's go to Ed Richards. Actually, I've done it here. Go to Ed Richards. Now, I don't want to show you this week. I want to show you when did Libba not play. I think he missed. When did Libba miss? I think it was round 7. Let's have a look at Ed Richards' heat map with no Libba. That's Ed Richards with no Libba. Okay, so midfield, a bit defensive. So defensive midfielder. Okay, let's just say that. Ed Richards last week with Libba. More midfield forward. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I don't even know what position that is. Okay, so it doesn't look that good anyway. However, against Richmond, Ed Richards was everywhere. The problem is, Ed Richards is not going to play at Richmond every week. Okay, if Ed Richards played Richmond every week, I would instantly pick Ed Richards because I've seen that heat map and that one and those games. His scoring wasn't really that good. Okay, Supercoach 79. He had what was it, 23 touches. On this game here, he had 17 touches. It's not like he's setting the world on fire, okay? So, except for this week, he had 34 touches, but the same role. Nothing changed. It's just that he played Richmond. Okay, that was a difference. Plus, they kicked 30 or 19 goals, so the ball kept coming back into the centre, so he had more action. The Dogs aren't going to kick 19 goals every week, okay? It's very rare for a team to kick 19 goals these days, so that was his role this week. Don't get too excited with Ed Richards. Now we get to Treloar. Now Treloar is having an unbelievable season. If you've got him as a pod, which not many do, okay, but if you do have him as a pod, he's got the round 15 bye, and he's going nuts. All right, against Richmond, he's going to go nuts, okay, but it doesn't matter. He still went nuts. Actually, they all went nuts, okay. James Harms kicked 4 goals. He's not going to kick 4 goals every week, James Harms, okay. He is cheap. but I'd probably pass on James Harms. The Bont scored 135. That's actually disappointing. He went at 65%. He could have scored more. Okay, 19 contested possessions. Have a look at the contested possessions. 14, 12, 12, 19. The top four. Okay, all midfielders, and James Harms pretty much all over the ground. And have a look at the ritual ones. Contested possessions. 9. That's the Ruckman. Okay, 11, 10. There's not much, and that's 10 from Rioli, the half back. Okay, the midfielders got nothing. They got smashed. Now, Sam Darcy, 113. That's a big game. Okay, 4 goals. Very happy with Sam Darcy right now. Last week he scored a 50 or a 60. I don't know what it was. And I got asked, do we field Sam Darcy this week? I said yes. Okay, against Richmond, yes. So, and he did, and he didn't let us down. Bailey Dale, this was disappointing, but you don't expect much, okay? He had no impact in the game. All the impact was here, okay? Dale was just pretty much getting cheap kicks because there wasn't much action coming his way. He was just getting the short passes. So Dale just did his job with no impact, but you can't expect impact. I have a feeling Zorko is going to be similar to Dale this week and score that 103-ish. With no impact, but a lot of touches. Anyway, Dale scored the 30 touches, 24 kicks, and 6 handballs at 83%. That's awesome, okay? Now, Tim English also didn't impact, even though he had, 6 kicks, that's 18 touches, okay? Only 5 were contested, so that's not much. You need to get those contested possessions high. You can see here, 14, 12. That's where the points are. You get 3 extra points per each contested possession. 3 times 14. What's that? Okay, 14, 20. That's 42 points extra for Ed Richards just on contested possessions. English, only 15 points extra. So it's not much. So that's why English's score isn't that high. McRae, the same. Only 8 contested possessions. It's not much. That's why his scoring isn't much. He needs to get this contested possession up to the 12-14 mark. At least that way he get to 100. Now, Riley Garcia, an 84. I mean, they all scored. I mean, their worst players were Richmond's best players. Okay, that's how bad it was. So, pretty much, there's nothing else here at the Dogs to talk about. Okay, let's get to the next game. Now, I want to talk about this game. This game really upset me. Okay, I was shocked. This game ruined my weekend. Okay, it was that bad. Just shocked. I wasn't expecting this. I mean, Gold Coast playing against North Melbourne. Now, if you said North Melbourne were on the bottom of the ladder, I would believe you. Okay, but when you say Will Phillips, okay, is gonna tag my boy, okay, the weapon, Matt Rowell, does that scare you? Okay, Will Phillips gonna tag the weapon. Is that scary? No. Okay, but Rowell did nothing. It was a spud. The last 2 weeks, Rowell has let me down big time, and we're gonna have a meeting this week, and I'm gonna blast him. He's gonna cop it. Anyway, let's go for the team. Took Miller. I want to show you something in a minute too. Took Miller, 122. That's a good score. Okay, 29 touches. He's a scoring machine. 11 contested, 1 goal, 1. Everything looks good. 86% disposal. That's very high for him. So, but let me show you the concern I have with Took Miller now. We go to Gold Coast CBAs. We've got Jared Witts at 89. Noah Anderson at 79. Matt Rowell, 86. They're your main 3, okay? You got to Took Miller. He had 43. Davies came in, took half of Took Miller's CBAs. Yeah, that's scary. Now, maybe it was hot. That's why. It was a hot day, okay? Maybe humid. So maybe that's why. But if you look at Took Miller's heat maps, let's have a look. Took Miller. Let's go further down. Okay, looking at Took Miller's heat maps. Last week, all right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the big. All right, let's have a look last week. What did he do last week? Took Miller against the Lions. Okay, midfield, defensive, the usual Took Miller stuff. Okay, this week, Took Miller. What did he do? well, the usual midfield stuff, but more forward stuff here. See, last week, not much forward stuff, more defensive midfield, around the ball. This week, a bit more time in the forward line. Okay, so that is a concern with Davies. They seem to be switching. If you have a look at Davies, okay, let's go to Supercoach. Let's go back. So look at Davies. Okay, let's have a look at his heat map now. Are they playing the same role? Okay. Well, Davies also in the midfield. So he's got the same role as Took Miller. Maybe he did play forward but didn't get a touch. Okay, that's why you can't see nothing here. But it doesn't mean that he wasn't here. So for Took Miller now, Davies is a problem. Now, Flanders is Flanders, okay? Scored a 108. We don't expect much more, okay? 110. He's always a 100 man. I'm happy I got him. Took me long enough to get him, but eventually we did. Now, Messi. That's Klossy, for those that don't know. But we call him Messi. Now, scored another 100. Where is he? A 105. Just a jet. 2 goals. He doesn't miss. He's like Messi. Messi never misses. Neither does Klossy. Okay, now, going further down, Matt Rowell, very disappointed. 83. You're smashing a team and you only scored 83 points. I mean, you could tag anyone. You go and tag my player, Matt Rowell. Why can't you just tag Anderson? Anyway, Rowell copped a tag, scored the 83. Anderson, he didn't get tagged, scored a 70. There's something wrong here. If Anderson only scored 70 and Rowell only scored 83, where's these points gone to? I mean, we've got midfielders. Even at North Melbourne, they didn't score much. Uniac 109. Who else is in the midfield? There's nobody else besides Uniac. The rest are even worse. Sheasel 86. Where's all these points gone? Miller scored 122, but he played midfield and forward. And so, I mean, Davies, he got subbed out, okay? He got subbed out and still scored 98. Something wrong. Is Davies, actually, I'm saying Davies may affect Miller. Is Davies actually affecting Rowell, also Anderson? Now, I don't know. Okay, we're going to find out next week. We'll watch him again. Anyone else here? That's about it. Yeah, that's it for this team. That's actually Rogers. 64 for Buck Rogers, but actually Sexton 82. The owners will be very happy. 82, but Sexton can be very up and down. But if you kept him this long, you're making some cash now. Finally, now at North Melbourne, the Fish scored 140, 34 touches. Now he had 100 at half time. So after half time, either his tank died because it was hot, okay, or the action died, or both. But anyway, he ended up with a 140. Last week he scored a 95. I'm not going anywhere near the Fish, okay? The Fish scares me. The same reason McKercher scares me. And McKercher only scored 91, but he went at 66% with 3 clangers. Had 30 touches. His role is there, but I just don't know how long, okay? And I've missed the initial 2 raises. I don't want to pay 380k for McKercher, no way, okay? So McKercher and Fish, we're going to pass on them now. But if you've got McKercher, you got him early, it's well done, okay? However, this week, McKercher or the Fish are going to cop the Guelphy tag. So we'll see which one cops it. Sheasels is a problem, a big problem. And the problem now is also at 650k, he was a trade out. I even mentioned it when he was 650k, but I didn't do it because I had other problems. And now I'm stuck with him because I still got other problems. So I'm going to hold him now. And just let him cover the buy rounds. He's probably going to drop down to 500k, maybe 450k. I don't know. If he keeps going like this, he'll go down about 480k-ish. It just needs one big game to go back up again. And we're just hoping that his role changes. We'll see. I might even change my mind and trade him out next week. I'll see how I go. But at the moment, he's not looking good. Okay, so even fantasy points, 71, that's very low. He's just not doing it. Contested possessions are very low, 8. Tackles are low. Everything is low, 21 touches. It's disappointing. Now, Sherry didn't do much. But then again, he faced Gold Coast Wits, who also didn't do much, okay? But they both didn't do much. Something wrong here. No one did anything. Where'd all the points go? Anyway, I couldn't watch this game properly because there was two games at the same time, so I was watching the other game. I was watching the Tigers get smashed. But going further down, there's nothing else. Lazaro, no one should have him now. Anyway, let's continue. We now go to Collingwood and West Coast. And especially at West Coast, I want to talk about McGovern big time. Okay, we've got a big conversation right now. A big topic right now is McGovern. But we'll talk about him in a minute. Let's talk about Collingwood. Nick Dacos, 147. Jets. Okay, Pendlebury. The old Pendlebury was back this year. The 21-year-old Pendlebury, 147. Crisp, having some midfield minutes, 134. Now, Crisp having the midfield minutes, which means that Sidebottom has got his role. Now, does Sidebottom keep this role? I put up a tweet, and on the tweet it said the Collingwood supporters think he's not going to have it. So, probably not. So, let's see what the coach says. If the coach says Sidebottom will keep this role, it's going to be interesting. Let me show you his role. Now, have a look at Sidebottom. Every week, he's a winger. Every single week, he's on the wing. All right, except this week, he was named as centre half back. The good thing with Collingwood is they don't lie. Okay, when they say he's going to play on the wing, he plays on the wing. Okay, just have a look. If they say wing, that's where he plays, the wing. Okay, now, but this week they said centre half back. Okay, it may have shocked a few. That was a starting lineup, centre half back. So where did he play? Well, he played centre half back, attacked. He did everything. Although he played West Coast, but still, if he played a stronger team, he would have had more action. This is against a team that the ball wasn't going there much, and it's still very strong. So it's a good sign for still Sidebottom. He's never ever played centre half back or half back ever. Even in his junior years, never played in defence. It was first time for him, and he did really well. So keep an eye out for Sidebottom, and keep an eye out for the coach, or your ears. Keep them wide open, and let's see if the coach says that Sidebottom will keep this role or not. It's going to be interesting. The only problem with Sidebottom is his price. It's awkward. Okay, so you're not getting him as a keeper. You're not getting him as a cash cow. Well, you sort of can, but you get Sidebottom as a spare, especially if he has a defensive role. He'll become a mid-defensive player. I'd rather get Sidebottom than get McKercher, and they're almost the same price. Okay, so Sidebottom's a much better proposition for me. Now, Joe Richards is going to be on a bubble next week. First game, 107. What a jet. Can't wait to see his next game. So, Joe Richards, but then he played West Coast, okay? Finn McRae scored the 90. That's the Finn McRae I was expecting. Kicked 3 goals, had a big game. We've missed the boat on Finn McRae. I don't think many people have him. Now, go further down. Lockie Sullivan, 75. Now, I put up a tweet asking if Lockie Sullivan... Actually, not Lockie Sullivan. Who am I talking about? It's not Lockie Sullivan. Actually, it is Lockie Sullivan. Okay, I put up a tweet asking what they thought of Lockie Sullivan, job security. Let's have a look at some of the answers from the Collingwood crowd. Now, I put up a tweet, a few tweets. This one says, which rookie do you think has better job security? Sullivan from the Pies or Reville from the Lions? We've got 2,123 votes, so I want to thank everyone for voting. But so far, it's staying very strong towards Sullivan, okay? However, people are all saying that Reville is looking good for job security. So it's actually making me very confusion right now. So I put up another tweet yesterday, okay? Let's have a look. Sullivan, I said here to all my Magpie friends, and I know I have lots of them, okay? Can we see Sullivan staying on the park for another 3 to 4 games? And I said thank you for the legends. Okay, now, here are the answers that I got, okay, from the Magpie crew. Ben Morgan was asking me a question, so forget about this one. Okay, now, uh, actually, so was Ash Aiden. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, they're asking me questions. I'm asking them a question. They're answering my question with another question. Just calm it down. Okay, let's find someone that's asking me. Okay, CB20. That's Craig Bryant. Okay, or Byron. It says yeah, Richards and Sullivan in that order. The two that look most comfortable at the level. Okay, so he likes Richards and he likes Richards more than Sullivan. Now, let's try to find some more answers now. Nathan Scoble from the Supercoach Hub. He says yes. He uses Ted Lasso. Now let's keep going down. Okay. Let's pass all the questions. Uh, okay. I'm trying to find the answers. Okay. I don't think we have many. Okay. Let's skip this segment. Okay. Just calm it down. So, well, in general, most of them, if I can find them, okay, had said that Sullivan has probably got two weeks left in him, and then a lot of their boys come back. So it could be a sub. Okay, so that's the inside word from the Collingwood supporters on Sullivan. Now, let's go to West Coast. Now, at West Coast, there's only two players to talk about. There used to be three, but Yo's not back yet, so there's only two. We're going to talk about McGovern in a minute, okay? Let's talk about Harley Reid. Now, as you know, I anti-potted Harley Reid. He was raining terror through Abs Magic when he scores those 140s and 120s. I couldn't sleep at night. Just calm it down. Anyway, Harley Reid, last 2 weeks, the scores are very low. Okay, now his break even is very high. As you can see, you don't want your primos to score 60s. So he's not a primo. I think it's time to let Harley Reid go this week. So if you had hopes that Reid would be a primo, well, it doesn't cost much more than a Zorko. Maybe not 100k, get a Zorko. So just switch over and get the Zorko now. Now, let's talk about McGovern. McGovern was on 89 points, about 5 minutes left in the second term. 89, McGovern. He was going nuts. He had an injury. Okay, he jumped up for a ball. He thought he was Superman. Okay, he went. He flied up like a bird. Okay, but he came back stumbling down, crashed to the earth, and hurt his ribs. He got taken off. Came back on after half time for 2 minutes. Okay, and then got subbed out. He was at 89. He scored 25 Supercoach points while he was off in the ambulance. Okay, it was the best ambulance ride I've ever had one of my players be in. Okay, 25 points for being in the ambulance. But let me explain something to a lot of you now. Okay, because like I said the other day, I'd given up on champion data, but sometimes I understand them. Okay, now with McGovern and with West Coast in general, have a look at disposal efficiency. Okay, there's a few 60s here, a few 60s at the Collingwood team. This game they were playing kick to kick, and some players like a Barras, or not even a Barras. Let's go 72. Let's say Tim Kelly would kick it to the opposition. He gets no points for that. Okay, and there's a lot of it going through this game. There wasn't much contested possessions, okay, or not from the West Coast, but there's a few from the Magpies. But even 17, that's high, but the rest are low, okay, very low. Actually, it's not too bad, okay, but it doesn't matter, okay. My point is, when you got 3,300 points to distribute, all right, and if the points aren't coming, what I generally see is they give the top 5 or 10 from each team bonus points, probably every 2 or 3 minutes. You always see a player they'll just give an increase in points, and that's where McGovern got his points from, just the bonus, because he was already at the top. He was at 89. There's no one next to him, so it was the impact that he did in the first half. Even though they were losing, he did enough to have the impact. That's why McGovern's score went to 114. Okay, that in case people are asking, that's what happened. Now let's talk about Jeremy McGovern. Okay. Now, first three games 109, 144. The 120 is when I got him in. Okay. Then the 113. So everything is normal here. Then he went and scored a 72. Now, this 72, this game, Richmond got smashed. So there was not much action coming his way. The following week, he played Frio. Now, West Coast won this game as well. Okay, this was the week where Reed scored the 140 odd. So these two games here, uh, West Coast won. He didn't score much, 72 and 100. Okay, the following week he scored at 89. This was his worst game of the year. This 89 against Gold Coast, because after that, this 101 here against Essendon, he was tagged by Guelphy. Guelphy tagged in this game. So to actually get to 101 was not a bad effort, okay? And against Collingwood, this 114 was unbelievable, or was 89 at the time. He was on track to go 160, 170. So I think McGovern, some of you may find this funny and then laugh at me, but I think McGovern is a top 4 defender this year. Considering we've also lost Cheezels now, we see the up and down turbulence of the St Kilda and the Port Adelaide defenders. Whitfield's not bad, but he's actually better than what most people think. Okay, and he's only owned by 5%, a huge pod. I think, and his game's coming up. Okay, let's have all these games coming up. Where do we find these things? Okay, season stats. Okay, plays against Melbourne. Okay, they concede points. Plays against Adelaide. Then again, he may not play against Melbourne. Okay, we're not sure. We know he's out of hospital. He has no broken ribs. He has no problem with his lungs. They say it's just sore ribs. Okay, a bruise. So maybe he's okay to play. Against Adelaide, he may not go massive because it's Adelaide Oval. So we'll see how that goes. Against St Kilda, he should do okay. Against North Melbourne, he should do okay. But against North Melbourne, maybe he won't do okay because of the fact that the ball won't get there. So we'll see how that goes against North Melbourne. But his draw's not too bad. Okay, so we're looking at a McGovern that could finish top 4 this year, and hardly anyone's got him. We now go to the Adelaide and the Brisbane Lions game. Now, Dawson scored a 142. I wish I could see his three-quarter time scores here. He went nuts in the last 5 minutes. I reckon he scored 30 points in 5 minutes. He was on track for a good game anyway. His heat maps, let's check him out now. Has he had a role change? Let's have a look at what Dawson's doing now. As you can see here, he started positions on the wing. Okay, I was even saying recently that he's like a winger. Okay, as you can see there, wing. People laughed at me when I said he's a winger, but I wasn't lying. He was a winger. Okay, you can see there, he's a wing on the midfield wing here on the second map. This was last week, but this week, he's everywhere. So it looks like it's very similar to last week's as well. Okay, very similar, except we had more touches this week. But the previous week, he was more on the wings, which was scaring me. But that's where he was playing 2 weeks in a row. Then looks like his roles changed again. So now he's midfield and all over the place again. So he's got his old role back. And now that's a good thing. It's also not a good thing, okay? Because with his old role back, if you go look at his scores, 64, 99, 68, 96, 82. It's not like he's setting the world on fire. It was just a magic 10 minutes that he had, which inflated his score. Had 19 kicks, 8 handballs. I mean, he's had better games. He had 19 kicks, 5 handballs last week, okay? He scored 94 for that. But this week, there was more damage with his stuff because it was a close game. It was actually a draw. So that's why his score was so high. Now, I want to talk about now Crouch. Actually, let's talk about Rankin now. Okay, let's have a look at Rankin's heat maps. Actually, before we go to heat maps, have a look at CBAs. Their main midfielder, Riley O'Brien's a ruck. He's got 87. Matt Crouch has got 73% midfield. Dawson's on 53. So Dawson's out on the wing, starting position, even sometimes half forward, or 53% of the time in the midfield. And you got Laird, and you got Saligo. Then you got Rankin. Now, Rankin's the other man. Okay, now, then you got a bit of Rochelle, but Rankin is the third. But Rankin is almost as much as Dawson. Now, Rankin's heat maps, they're not bad. Okay, let's have a look at Rankin's heat maps. Let's have a look here. Now, as this week, okay, there is midfield time there. I mean, he's also got forward time. It helps when he kicks goals, okay? Like this week, 3 goals. Last week, 3 goals. The week before, 4 goals. 1 goal, 3 goals. Now, all these goals add up to points, okay? So 121, 85. So these are big scores. But he's getting these scores. He's very similar player to the Richmond boy, okay? And Bolton, same thing. So he's getting goals, he's scoring points, okay? So that makes sense. When he's not getting these goals, 0-0, well, he's still scoring points. What's going on? Actually, no, that's what it's okay. Here it is here. 0 goals, 1 goal, 88, 68. Well, he got 44 here, kicked 0 goals, but he's more of an 80s man. That's his floor, about the 80s, sometimes a 70, all right? But his ceiling, that's a close game. Say his ceiling about 121. This one's got 3 goals for a 121. So he's between an 80 and a 120 player. That's not bad. So possible F6 or F5 because there's not many options. Okay, so he's a good get. Now Laird started slow. The only thing with Laird is the 68% time on ground. At one stage it was at 58%. It's very limited. So the time on ground just worries me with Laird. Now Matt Crouch, he scored 112. Right, you can see here 5 clangers. Matt Crouch, 5 minutes to go, was on 124. 5 minutes to go. Still got 5 minutes to play. He could have done anything, okay? He could have got this 142 instead of Jordan, instead of Dawson. When he was on 124, he got a hardball get, a contested possession. So that's big points. Then he handballed it. Normally that's 5 points. But then he handballed it to the wrong person, okay? So he lost 5 points. He did it twice. He lost 10 points. It would have been double because of the fact that you get double score in the close game. So that's 20 points he could have gotten. Maybe 16 or 17 points, just say. Add 17 points to your score of 112, say 18. That's a 130. Crouch could have gone much bigger. Just disappointing that his score dropped. Now we go to the Brisbane Lions, and we go to Zorko. Zorko is the must-have of the year right now, and he's showing us every week he's doing it. He's actually now better than Flanders, because Zorko is. So we have to get him. He's not better than Heaney yet, but he's better than Flanders right now. And we know how good Flanders is. So Zorko must have. Going further down, Lockie Neal and Dunkley, both of them had a bad game against the Crows, okay, which is very unusual. Lockie Neal a 79, Dunkley an 89. Actually, mind you, Dunkley had 114 Dream Team points, but it just didn't show on his Supercoach. So both of them look at getting, if you want any of them, after their bye round. So wait till round 12. Perfect timing for us. So wait till round 13. You can grab them because they're actually going to drop in price now. Perfect timing, just coming down. And we talked about Reville. He's the one I'm getting. A mid-forward DPP, 102k. Looks like his job security is a bit stronger than Sullivan. So I'm gonna get Reville this week. Now we go to my team. And now what I did this week is I benched Roberts in case he went big. If he went big, I was going to put him on field. Lucky he didn't go 80, okay, or a 70. If he went 70, I would have kept it. Then I would have missed out on Clossey's 105. So Roberts did me a massive favour, okay, and so did Clark. Both Roberts and Clark did me a huge favour by not going 70 plus. I would have missed out on one. I would have gone nuts, okay. So that worked out well, and I did the same with Wilson. Looks like I should have put Garcia on field instead of Powell, but I didn't lose much. Only 7-point loss here, so it was no big deal. Now, let's go to our leagues now, because this week, this team is going to cop an absolute belting from me. I'm going to give it to them. But let's go to our leagues now. Now, we lost a lot of games this week. It was a tough weekend for us, okay? And in Supercoach of the Year, we actually had a win over my boy here, Horses for Courses, Mick, okay? Unfortunately for the young man. Now, we go to Scodfather Cup 1, and no trolls allowed. They got beat this week by the Abs Magic, by the Spuds, okay? Now, we go to Scodfather Cup 2. And my boy here, John, it was a close game all day. It's the last game, okay? I just overtook him in the last minutes. So John had a bit of a loss. Now, we go to Scodfather Cup 3. And my boy, the real deal, that's Eugene's team. Now, I was shocked that I beat him because he was killing me. I don't know what happened. What happened to his team? Let's have a look. What went wrong? Okay, why did the ladder come up? Let's go game day. Okay, go back to game day. Okay, let's go back here. All right, what happened? Okay, what happened to you? Oh, that's what happened. He had Cadman, 12 for Cadman. Reed scored 59. He had Neil score 79. The poor Tig. He had Sherry go 82. Everything went bad for the poor man. Okay, I feel very sorry for him. And he had Captain on rail. Everything that can happen happened to him. So very unlucky, Eugene. I know you watch my shows, so I'm sorry. Now, let's go further down and let's have a look here. Game day. Let's go to Scodfather Cup 4. The Troopers, that's Tom's team, smashed us. Okay, had a big win, 24-20 to 24-89. I'm very upset with Tom right now. Okay, let's have a look at Scodfather Cup 5. We beat the Turkish team, Fenerbahce. Okay, unfortunately for the young man. And let's keep going. Scodfather Cup 6. Now, the inverted banana came back. I was beating him big time. He came back out of nowhere. He nearly stole the points. Anyway, we had a 20-point win. I'm very happy. But I'm very upset with Simon. Okay, Simon Garrison. He smashed me. Okay, my percentage, I went down to 5th. I was first. He's above me. He's in the top 4. I'm not. Not happy. Just coming down. We now go to Scodfather Legends. Now, this group is now ranked number 10. We were ranked 9 last week. Now we just dropped to actually we're ranked 8th. Now we're 10th. Now, Supercoach Edge, Damon Jackson. Now, this is twice he's done this. Okay, very sneaky boy. Okay, now he's beat me again. Okay, and I blame Crouch for this. But me and Damon, we're not talking right now. Okay, I'm very upset at him. So now I'm 4th. He's 5th. Okay, still in the top 4, but he knocked me off. So it was a big win by Damon. Okay, now we go here, and Janaf, he's going nuts. He's in a top 400 now, I think. He's gone right up. Top 500 or top 400. He's killing it right now. So Janaf is flying, okay? 24.95 defeated my boy Horses for Courses. Now, Swizz's team had a big win over Dan Batten. Now, Dan Batten will be very upset with this right now. He was going so well. He was in a top 4. Now he's dropped out of the 8s. It's all because of Swizz. Last week he caught Abs Magic. And we go now, Tim Mitchell. He beat my boy here, Supercoach of DR. Okay, now DR won't be happy. Okay, now DR's back from hospital, by the way. His family, himself, all in good health. So we're very happy. But he's found out the news that Tim beat him, and he's not impressed. Okay, I heard some mumbling going on. Now, my boy Joe, Smoking Joe, had a defeat to Selby. Selby has come back. Selby, very dangerous man. Okay, he's come back. A big win there for Selby. That's a close game. Now, we go down. George Terrors, they had a big win over Bryce Mitchell, 23-86 to 22. Actually scored the same as me, I think. We scored very similar. Steve from SSD bounced back this week. Last week, because I gave it to him, we copped it. I said he was holding up the whole team, whole ladder. Well, he bounced back. He was upset. Okay, he told me I'm very upset. Just come it down. So he bounced back, and Ben from Supercoach Insiders copped it this week. So we go further down. MJ, another one. So that these two boys, Steve and MJ very upset too. He had a massive score, 25-13, and he beat JD. JD scored similar to me as well. So a big win there for MJ. He's back. Okay, MJ's back in business. Now, we got to Al Payton. And Al Payton also had a loss, 25-04 to the Mini Monk, who's also on fire. Okay, after Mini Monk beat me a couple of weeks ago, he hasn't stopped. Okay, he become gritty guts. So he's scoring points left, right, and centre. This is huge, 25-53, massive game. And we go now to JP, who had a loss, lost to Pistol, 25, huge game by Pistol as well, in the top 8. Actually, let's have a look at the ladder. Now, as you can see there, top 10. Now, Januf is at the top. Okay, what's he ranked? Can we see his ranking? Rank 460, Januf. He's killing it right now. So, Januf on fire. Al Payton, have a look at this. He's ranked 478. He's coming second, okay? These are huge rankings, okay? Mini Monk, what's he ranked? 621. Okay, they're all in the top 1,000. Okay, Mini Monk's killing it. Damon, what's he ranked? Is doing well. 2780 is killing it as well. Tim Mitchell, ranked 1430. These are all top rankings. This is a very tough competition. Selby doing well. Pistol. Now, going further down the bottom of the ladder, okay, as you can see the bottom. Now, MJ is off. Steven is off. They're flying now. Now, they've all got 2 wins. So, everyone here, Steven, JP, Bryce Mitchell, and Horses for Courses have got 2 wins. We now go to the Scodfather group, and Dow or Never is ranked number 1 still. Okay, now we've tried to get contact with Dow or Never. Okay, but we haven't heard from him yet. Okay, so obviously he's not watching our programs, but hopefully he's watched this one. So if Joe can hear us, please give us a shout out so we can hear your voice. Now, Nathaniel's team, Chev's Titans, they're doing well. From 7th to 4th, and we had a little chat with Nathaniel. He scored a 25-36, big game. Now, we don't know who Louisa is. Now, if Louisa is out there, that's Dusty AF. Okay, have a chat to us, Louisa. Say hello on the chat, and we'll talk to you. 25-72, massive, and zero pressure. That's Wango's team. If you're in the chat, have a chat to us as well. Ranked 6. We have now, 4 teams in a top 6 in our group. That's insane. And Syed, that's Shaq. Okay, now 21st. Victor's dropped a little bit, down to 23rd, but he's going to bounce back. Okay, he had a rough week this week. Josh from Liontown is coming back. Okay, he was outside for a while, but he's back in town again. The Liontown is back in town, and scored a 25-38. We have Jesse's Express, 2490. He's ranked, what's he ranked? 38th. Now, Lewis, who was ranked 1st, if you can recall, he was in the top 10. Also had a bad week, unfortunately, for Lewis. He's a good boy, good, fine young man. So he's going to bounce back, okay? He's got a strong team. Now, bringing Sexton back, that's James. He's ranked 54th. Okay, he also dropped in rankings this week, so he's going to come back. Did he bring Sexton back? Let's have a look. He did bring Sexton back. Okay, good boy. Okay, he kept his word. Now, we go to Zorko Zorros. They're ranked 58. How many teams? We've got so many teams ranked in the top 100. The Zorko Zorros have Zorko. Why can't I see Zorko Zorro with a Zorko in there? What's going on? Okay. Well, Zorko Zorros does not have Zorko. Okay, but maybe it's coming. Now, Nathan's team, and Nathan's ranked 50. He was ranked a lot higher last week. Also dropped. It's not a poor score, okay, but it's just not enough for the top 100. Now, Astronauts. That's Avram's team. He's come flying in. Astronauts come from space. Okay, now he's flying turbocharged from Mars. So the aliens have pushed him out of space, and he's coming in now. He's got a 25-10. G-Man and Golden Era, both of them have flown into the top 73. They're flying. We go further down. We have Sava's Super Boot. Okay, it's Jamie's team. He was in the top 30 last week, so he's dropped a bit this week. Had a bad week. He'll bounce back. And my boy here, he's flying. That's Jamie's team, Silver Top Hurley. Okay, and we have a chat with Jamie every day, and on X and top 100. Congratulations to Jamie, and we have Blair Mayers Mangs, ranked 97. So we have 18 teams in the top 97 right now, and that's huge. Now the top 10 scores this week. Now Max Bingers, he's actually my friend on in the Richmond forum. Okay, he scored a 26-14. I'll show you something with Max's team. He would have won the prize. He captain Gorn. Okay, had he captain, and it was by mistake. He was going to captain. He told me he was going to captain Butters. That's an extra 30 points, 36 points. He would have got. Actually, he would have won it had he captain Butters. $2,000 he would have won. He's 14 years old, Max is. He's a very young boy, okay? Could be 15 this year, but done a good job. Now, Anthony Burgo Aguero, okay? It sounds like a... Aguero is... we all know Aguero as the soccer player. So, Aguero, that's Argentinian, I think, is that? Argentinian. Burgo Aguero, 2609. Zero pressure, that's Wengo. He came out of nowhere to the 6. We have Oh Hi Mark, that's Lee's team, 2601. He jumped 20,000 rankings, that's huge. We have Joshua's team, that's Bumfuzzled Beavers, scored a 25.99. Thomas's team, TD's Terminators, scored a 25.98. We have Michael's team, Jake Stringer's under 18s, 25.80. We have Harrison's team, Revolution, 25.74. And to top off the last two, we have Louise's team. That's Dusty F. Let's have a look at Louise's team now. Ranked 5, doing really well. Round 9 rank was 157. Huge. Well, Harley Reid let her down. And that's about it. She's got very similar team to mine, okay? Got Meek in there, score 125. The Horny Man's in there, okay? The team is all set. No wonder it's number 5. It's a huge team. We have a few DNPs here, so we might have to fix these up. Livingston, we could probably keep, because eventually you have to get rid of Sweet, so you could put him there. Mana is a problem. Graham's not a big problem. And that's about it. And Pink. So the team is shaped really well. Very proud of this team. And that's it for our top 10. I forgot to mention Sean's team. That's Glorian. In case he's watching, he might get upset. He might say, what about me? Just cut it down. Okay, I'm not going to mention it now. And that's Sean's team. Scored a 25.69. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for joining. And remember one thing. It's nice to be important. But it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
That's all, folks.